Hello, Squashers, I'm Griff here, and welcome back to my channel. Now for today's video, I'll be doing my review for Chucky episode 6, which is titled Cape Queer. And I'm gonna say real quick, I apologize for being so late on this review. It's been really hard keeping up with these, but I'm gonna try to get the next one out actually at a good time. So, with that said, let's get into it, this review. So episode 6, Cape Queer, of the Chucky TV series is definitely one of the best episodes yet. This episode, in my opinion, is almost as good as the last episode. There's a lot of crazy twists and turns. The cinematography, good as always. The music, good as always. But overall, I really like this episode. They really killed it, and they took us all for a loop. And they did some things that I wasn't expecting at all. But I'm going to talk a little bit about spoilers. So just a spoiler warning, guys. I will be talking a little bit about spoilers to kind of reinforce my thoughts on this episode. First, we start off the episode pretty cool with a previously on Chucky thing, but instead of Chucky's voice or Lexi's voice or whatever the case may be, we get Tiffany doing it, and it's pretty comical how she does the previously on Chucky thing. And overall, I think that recap that they did for this episode was done pretty well. I really like the intro to the episode where Andy and Kyle are seen pretending to be census counters to get into people's houses and to kill Chucky dolls. The doll that they somehow have in this house is actually the same doll with the melted hand from Quote to Chucky, and Andy and Kyle take him out. And I also want to mention how the title card to this episode with the broken glass and shit and Chucky's in the reflections was pretty fucking sick and overall really neat, and I love how they pulled it off here. I also love how this episode catches us up to speed on what Kyle is doing with her life, and Andy even has a picture of Kyle and her significant other in this scene where they're driving, and Andy is talking to Kyle about Chucky and why he has the head of Chucky and stuff, or why he had the head. I say had because that head is actually dead, rest in peace. That's the last we'll probably ever see of Stitch-Face Chucky ever again. But Kyle is questioning why he even still has the thing, and he says that he's using it to study Chucky, to learn more about him and whatnot. Miss Fairchild gets wrongfully accused for the murders at one point, and her delinquent past is even brought up at one point. Like what Damn Dude Industry says in this comment in one of my videos, it is possible that Miss Fairchild could be, in fact, Tiffany's long-lost sister, because she is, after all, redhead. The only thing that wouldn't make much sense to her age, but it said that she has a delinquent past, and a lot of people are saying, well, what if it's Glenda? And age difference doesn't work there either. Miss Fairchild could be older than she looks, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? And it does seem like Nika is brought back with blood, like whenever she sees blood or whatever splatters on her face, because she comes back again in this episode. And at one point she even tries to trick Chucky into thinking that Chucky's still inside of her body. But Tiffany did not fall for that at all. And that flashback with Tiffany and Charles Ray was pretty fucking awesome. I love how Tiffany looks in this scene. She's dressed up very fucking well. And yeah, this is Tiffany's very old car. They're like buying it from this dude. Well, buying, or they bought it. Not really, because they ended up killing the dude, and he for some reason still asked for the money while his throat has a gaping hole in it. Like, come on, man, you're bleeding out. You still want the $1,000? It's interesting because Tiffany finds out that Nika is back, right? And Chucky doesn't have control anymore. Well, it seems like Tiffany likes Nika more, and she takes a bigger liking to her than Chucky, and ends up actually kidnapping her and buying Charles Ray's childhood home and taking her in there. And the girl that Tiffany does business with, the realtor, is actually the same woman from episode 2 of the Chucky TV series that bit into the razor apple. So yeah, she's the realtor apparently. And it seems like Tiffany gets another Chucky doll based on how this box is shaped, but when you also look at it, it could possibly be that Tiffany just sent herself, like her doll version of her is what I mean. maybe she sent it to the house and it's either alive or it's gonna be. I'm still counting on them to include Tiffany as a doll in this series. If they don't include her, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Also forgot to mention that after Chucky and Tiffany killed the old man for his car, Charles Ray decides to pull out a voodoo book and read it, and this is foreshadowing probably for when he ends up meeting John Bishop, and we're probably going to end up seeing him in a flashback in one of the episodes. Because I don't see them not including flashbacks for him. That'd be bullshit. But it's definitely setting up that he's going to be getting into voodoo in these flashbacks. In this episode, Bree tells Logan Wheeler and Junior Wheeler that she has cancer, which is also a very sad and heartbreaking moment. But then, man, Chucky decided to fling her out a window, and man, that was such a very disrespectful death, as he mocked her on the way down, and Junior had to be there to actually see his mom dead, and man, it traumatized him. Overall, such a crazy scene filled with a lot of emotions overall. And then of course we get to see Jake talk with Andy and Kyle over the phone along with Devin, and man, that scene's pretty cool because Andy's giving them like tips and stuff on how they could take care of Chucky and whatnot, and it's overall really cool to see, and I can't wait to see them more in this series, as we haven't seen them much, but I hope they have way more screen time in the last 2 episodes, which I'm sure they will. Junior actually ends up breaking up with Lexi in this episode, and it's seeming like since all that happened, him breaking up with his girlfriend and him witnessing the death of his mother, I have a feeling that this is going to lead him down a dark path where Chucky's going to manipulate him, or at least try to manipulate him into murdering some people, which we will talk more about later during the promo breakdown. So Devin, Jake, and Lexi set up this trap that alerts them of Chucky's presence, and Devin actually got the idea for this trap from a movie called Cape Fear, which I have not seen, which is actually the reason why this episode is called Cape Queer. In this episode, Devin's mom also accepts Devin for being gay and being interested in Jake in such a romantic way, which is actually really good character development for that character, which actually makes it more tragic when she actually dies later at the hand of Chucky. Her death, man, was very shocking, as was Bree's. She falls on the stairs because of Chucky getting on her back and biting her and shit, which in previous videos I was saying that this is either the teacher, Miss Fairchild, or it's Nika, you know, walking about and whatnot. But no, this is actually Devin's mom, and a few people told me this, but I wasn't sure if it was true or not, but it is now confirmed to be Devin's mom that Chucky's on the back of. Something I really don't like about this episode, which I still like this episode, don't get me wrong, but it really bothers me that this episode kind of retcons Bride of Chucky a little bit, because, well, Jake refers to Laurie Strode as a Scream Queen, and pretty much it's just saying that in this universe of Chucky, Halloween, you know, Pennywise, you know, fucking Flappy for Goosebumps, they're all like movies and they're all just characters, which kills a lot of opportunity for future things. And I think writing it this way was a very, very, very wrong decision. Especially since in Bride of Chucky, we see Michael Myers' mask and the evidence depository. Like, what the hell is that all about? But to move on, we also get some really cool, neat nods to Child's Play 1. For example, Chucky getting into the house through the fireplace, him setting up the stove, like him turning on all the stove tops and whatnot. Just little things like that I could just overall appreciate. And man, how Chucky tries to convinced Lexi to kill Jake. Such a crazy moment. And then he gets away with them sliding moves when Jake tries to swing the bat on him. Which, man, it was really cool seeing Chucky do that. And then Devin tases him and knocks him back. And I like how, like, when he gets knocked back, the knife lands perfectly right next to Chucky. And then the "I'm just too old for this shit" line, man, perfect. But then Chucky gets up and he like charges with the knife but runs past Devin when he gets out of the way, which makes me wonder why he's sparing him. But then that leads to where Chucky kills Devin's mom. and he wants Devin to acknowledge that he's murdering his mom. He tells him to watch this right before he bites her. It raises the question, why is Chucky killing these parents? And why does he want Jake and them to see what he's doing? It seems kind of like something personal, and maybe the parents wronged Charles E. Ray in some kind of way. Maybe the reason he wants these parents dead so badly is because they could be the reason why Charles E. Ray got caught by the police right before he transferred his soul into a good guy doll. And this would be around the time that Charles E. Ray is holding Sarah Pierce hostage, as seen in Curse of Chucky. This is just a theory though. What do you guys think? So overall, this episode was great, almost as good as the last episode. The music was great, the cinematography great as always, the storytelling was good, there's a lot of good twists and turns, and overall this episode really surprised me. There are a few things that hold it back from being a solid 10, but I'm gonna go with like a 9 or a 9.5 out of 10. I'm actually gonna go with just a 9. It's really close to being a 9.5 or a 10, but because they retcon some of those things for Bride Chucky, for example, like the Michael Myers stuff, it kind of holds it back from being a solid 10 episode. But it's time to do this promo breakdown. So I'm gonna shut the fuck up and get into this. First, we see a shot of Junior and his father Logan grieving in the living room, followed by a scene where Tiffany tells Logan sorry for your loss, then walks off in a scene where it seems like the characters are very suspicious of her. Just look at how they're looking at her as she walks away. Some people just deserve to die, said by Chucky in a shot where it looks like Junior may be doing some killing, holding a knife in a very contemplating way. Why are Chucky killing our parents, says Jake in a scene at the funeral. It seems like in this episode, Jake and the gang will try to figure out why Chucky is killing their parents, especially with what the plot synopsis says about this episode. It looks like Logan may be breaking into somewhere for some reason. Probably trying to do some investigating himself, trying to figure out what's going on in the town of Hackensack. Looks like Lexi's getting ready to try and stab Chucky here. Just look at how she's moving here. It looks like in this frame, more Chuckies will be brought back to life. And here, it looks like Devin will be filling the shoes of his mom in investigating. It looks like this is around where Charles Ray's childhood home is located. It looks like Jake got a doll from Tiffany's event and is either alive and he wants to destroy it, or he's making sure it's not alive. The reason why I say this is because he's literally throwing the doll against the wall, trying to break it. It's hard to tell what's up here, but young Charles Ray looks to be killing someone here, and this may or may not be Tiffany walking in on Chucky killing her mom. But this is just speculation and a theory. It looks like Jake is running down an escalator, probably to get a good guy to make sure it's not alive. As you can see, he's in quite a rush. There's a shot of Chucky bloody here, looking like he just killed someone. As it says there's 2 episodes left, it looks like Tiffany talks to Junior, probably trying to influence him into taking a dark path and murdering people. And to end this teaser, it looks like this will be the episode where Devin gets kidnapped, and maybe Junior will be a part of this somehow. But that's the end of the promo breakdown. What do you guys think of this promo overall? What do you think is happening in some of these scenes? Let me know your theories down in the comments below, and again, I apologize for being so late on this. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content, and definitely subscribe to Become a Slasher. All social media links and my merch description below. Thank you guys so much for watching my little review on episode 6 of the Chucky TV series. And I'll be trying to get episode 7's review out way sooner than I was able to get these out. But we'll see how that goes. It's easy to get really burnt out doing this stuff. But I'm out of here and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget guys, to keep on slashing.